Deep in the whispering woods lived a firefly named Luma. She was a tiny creature with a big heart, but her light was barely visible in the vast darkness of the forest. Unlike the other fireflies, Luma's light was very faint. She often felt overshadowed by the brighter, more radiant fireflies that lit up the night. She wanted to shine brightly, but her light would only glow softly. No matter how hard she tried, her glow remained dim, a mere flicker compared to the others. Every night, the forest came alive with the twinkling lights of fireflies. It was a mesmerizing sight, a dance of lights that painted the forest with a magical glow. They would dance and play, their lights like tiny stars. The forest was their playground, and their lights brought joy and wonder to all who witnessed it. Luma hid behind a leaf, watching them. She longed to be a part of their joyous dance, to feel the warmth of their light and the camaraderie of their play. She wished she could join them, but she was too shy. Her faint light made her feel insignificant, and she feared that the others would not accept her. "My light is too small," she thought sadly. "I will never be like them. No one will notice me," she whispered to herself, feeling a pang of loneliness. But little did she know her journey was just beginning, and her small light held a special magic of its own. One night, a strange fog rolled into the whispering woods. It was unlike any fog the forest had ever seen. It crept in slowly, blanketing the trees and the ground in a dense, eerie mist. The moonlight struggled to penetrate the thick veil, casting an otherworldly glow over the forest. It was so thick that the bright fireflies couldn't see where they were going. They flickered and fluttered, their tiny lights barely piercing the fog. The fireflies, usually the guiding stars of the forest, were now lost in the mist, their paths uncertain and their lights dimmed. The animals who relied on the fireflies to light their way were lost. Deer stumbled over roots and squirrels chattered nervously as they tried to find their way back to their nests. The forest, usually a place of harmony and order, was now filled with confusion and fear. Luma peeked out from her hiding spot. She had never seen the forest like this before. The fog was so thick that she could barely see her own hands in front of her face. Her heart pounded with a mix of fear and curiosity. She heard little whimpers and cries for help. The sounds of the forest creatures, usually so familiar and comforting, now seemed strange and distant. She could hear the rustling of leaves and the soft padding of paws, but she couldn't see where the noises were coming from. A mother rabbit was searching for her bunnies. Her nose twitched as she sniffed the air, trying to catch their scent. She hopped frantically from one spot to another, her eyes wide with worry. The fog made it impossible for her to see more than a few inches ahead. A baby bird had lost its nest. It chirped pitifully, its tiny wings fluttering in panic. The nest, usually a safe haven high up in the trees, was now hidden somewhere in the thick fog. The baby bird's cries echoed through the forest, adding to the chorus of distress. "What's going on?" Luma asked a wise old owl perched on a branch. The owl's eyes glowed softly in the dim light, and it turned its head slowly to look at her. Luma had always trusted the owl's wisdom, and she hoped it had answers. "The fog is too thick," the owl hooted. Its voice was calm but tinged with concern. The owl explained that the fog had come from a mysterious source, and it was affecting the entire forest. The usual paths and landmarks were obscured, making it difficult for anyone to find their way. The fireflies can't see to guide anyone home. Their lights, which usually shone so brightly, were now swallowed by the fog. The owl suggested that the only way to dispel the fog was to find its source and understand why it had come. Luma knew she had to help, not just for herself, but for all the creatures of the whispering woods. Luma's heart ached for the lost animals. She remembered what her grandmother always said, even the smallest light can shine in the darkest moment. Taking a deep breath, Luma flew into the fog. She let her light shine as brightly as she could. It wasn't a big light, but it was steady and clear. To her surprise, the lost rabbit saw her light. "Over here," Luma called softly, leading the mother rabbit to her bunnies. The other fireflies saw Luma's light cutting through the fog. It was a night like no other in the whispering woods. The air was thick with mist, making it nearly impossible to see even a few inches ahead. The fireflies, usually so confident in their ability to light up the night, found themselves struggling. Their bright, dazzling lights, which normally illuminated the forest with ease, were now scattered and diffused by the dense fog. They tried to shine brightly too, but their strong lights just scattered in the fog. The more they tried, the more frustrated they became. It seemed as though the fog was mocking their efforts, swallowing their light and leaving them in darkness. But amidst this struggle, there was one firefly who remained calm and composed. Luma's soft, steady glow was perfect for guiding the way. Unlike the others, she didn't try to overpower the fog with her light. Instead, she let her gentle glow pierce through the mist, creating a clear path. Her light was not the brightest, but it was consistent and unwavering. It was this steady glow that made all the difference. One by one, Luma led the animals back to their homes. The forest creatures who had been lost and disoriented found solace in Luma's light. They followed her without hesitation, trusting her to guide them safely. Rabbits, deer, and even the smallest of mice trailed behind her, their fears slowly dissipating with each step. The other fireflies, amazed by her bravery, flew alongside her, cheering her on. They had always underestimated Luma, thinking her light too dim to make a difference. But now, they saw her in a new light, quite literally. Her courage and determination inspired them, and they realized that sometimes it's not about being the brightest, but about being the most reliable. They had never seen Luma shine so brightly. Her confidence grew with each step, and her light seemed to grow stronger. It was as if the forest itself was responding to her bravery, amplifying her glow and making her the beacon of hope that everyone needed. From that day on, Luma was known throughout the Whispering Woods for her courage and kindness. She became a symbol of hope and resilience, a reminder that even the smallest among us can make a significant impact. The animals and fireflies alike would often speak of the night Luma led them through the fog, her story becoming a cherished legend in the forest. The wise old owl smiled down at her. He had seen many things in his long life, but Luma's bravery was something truly special. He knew that her story would inspire generations to come. "You see, Luma," he hooted, "it's not about how bright you shine, but about letting your light shine when it matters most." His words were a gentle reminder that true strength comes from within, and that every light, no matter how small, has its own unique value. Even the smallest light can make a big difference. Luma's journey had shown everyone that it's not the size of the light that matters, but the heart and spirit behind it. Her story was a testament to the power of perseverance and the impact of a single, unwavering light. Believe in yourself and don't be afraid to shine in your own special way. Luma's tale was a beacon of inspiration, encouraging everyone to embrace their unique light and to shine brightly, no matter the circumstances.